The first round matchups are set for the World Championship. We're going to break it all down here. And let me know in the comments below who you're predicting. What's that one upset that you expect out of round one to kind of shake up the entire Swiss bracket? Before we begin, obviously, in the past, I feel like Swiss round one, not that important, right? It's like, you lose it. Like, yes, more times than not, a team that wins round one is going to make it top 8. Kind of makes sense, right? They're the better team. But in the grand scheme of things, if you go 0-1, you get some easier matchups, and then you can climb back up and qualify for that knockout bracket. But now it's a little bit different. As we saw in the last video, we have the AFL upper and lower bracket exit in Swiss stage. So you want to be one of those top 4 teams. So you have 2 lives at least for your first round to make it into the top 4 knockout stage. If you're not, if you're one of the bottom 3-1 teams in the tiebreaker matches that I explained in the last video, or one of the 3 and 2 teams, well, you have to win an extra match, basically, in order to win the entire thing. So you have 2 chances. You have 2 matches to win to make it into the top 4 and knockout, instead of just winning that one quarterfinal matchup. So, round 1, more important than ever with our new format for the World Championship. So let's break it all down. Let's break it up. Here we go. Here's our first round matchups. One note, very important note, Oxygen has been invited to the World Championship. I talked about that a couple videos ago. I thought Complexity was slightly overlooked. RMC, I think, should have never been in that conversation. But, so if you want to watch that video, go back. I'm not going to put it on here because I don't know how to do that. But Oxygen, they got the invite. They didn't get the invite as the last place team. They took over the MENA 2 seed. So they got the 12th seed here, which I think is a more fair way to do it than maybe putting them in the last place seed, right? So let's look at how this all pans out, because obviously then it would have been G2 versus Oxygen, which doesn't seem very fair for G2. G2 versus Limitless, 3-0. We don't really talk about this. Gentlemates versus Quick Trip Pioneers. Well, you know, I hear Gentlemates don't like playing OCE teams all of a sudden after EWC, but that OC team had a European, so does that count? I don't think so. I think Gentlemates are going to be pissed off, and they're going to show up, and, like, they're going to try and run up the score. I bet they want to put that OC loss behind them, or the 2 OC losses behind them versus the Chiefs. And I could see them at like 0 on the clock. They're up 5-0. Try to put another one in. I could see it. So Gentlemates, I think, will win that. I'll give Pioneers a game. Why not? Let's make it spicy. Game 1, Pioneers win. And everyone's like, uh-oh. Is it happening again? And then Gentlemates like, no. We'll wake up. Falcons Gladiators, that's a 3-0 as well. Should be pretty high scoring for Falcons. Fury versus OG. Honestly, I forgot OG was here. I'm just going to leave it at that. Fury is going to win. BDS versus Oxygen. It's a tough matchup for BDS. I think BDS do prevail. Oxygen, I would see at the last major. They kind of did not look good at all throughout Swiss, and obviously they got the late invite to this tournament. So we'll see how much prep time they have. Maybe they're playing with house money. They're playing carefree. It doesn't matter about, maybe there was drama on the team. Who knows? Like in London. Doesn't matter at this point. They know it's one last hurrah, right? We're going into the off season. Let's just have fun with it. Let's have a good time. That's my hope for teams like that. So I think BDS could lose that matchup. If I had to pick an upset in round 1, I think I pick that one. I think I pick Oxygen over BDS if there has to be an upset. But BDS should win, but you never know. BDS obviously coming off that EWC win, hanging out with Ronaldo and stuff, so who knows? You know, maybe they're not practicing as much because they got cool new friends. I don't know. Vitality versus Team Secret. Vitality should win that as well. Vitality's been like so mediocre though. I'm waiting for that pop off moment again. Like obviously, I think if Vitality don't win this event, or at least like if they don't make grand finals, I think roster moves aplenty for them. Maybe they just build around Zen. Who knows? Gen G versus Power. I think Gen G win that. Gen G looked pretty good at EWC. Power, they're always that OCE hope for that one weird upset. They'll probably get it at some point. I just don't think it's round 1. I would pick Oxygen over BDS before I pick Power over Gen G. And then Space Station K Corp is the match of the day. There's no doubt about it. Space Station have looked pretty good, but they always fall just a little bit short when you get into like quarterfinal rounds. K Corp, we haven't seen them since like early June. So how does K Corp look? Is K Corp one of the favorites to win this tournament? Honestly, like if we're looking at it, and let me know how you think. Like we'll probably do a actual like power rankings video. I think I would have more faith in K Corp winning this tournament than Vitality right now. Am I crazy? Maybe. Rise obviously has not performed that well the last split, but you know they're hungry, right? You know they're prepping. Rise, one of the smartest players in the game. I think he can figure it out. Vatira also not playing his best in the London qualifier split, but you expect them to bounce back, right? You expect them to be a force. I think if they peak, they have a very good chance at winning this tournament. Obviously, they have to peak, though, right? So we'll see. They were one of the best teams, or if not the best team in the world, going into the Copenhagen Major. So we'll see if that works out for them. Space Station, on the other hand, always fall just slightly too short. They look good at times, but then when like quarterfinals come, it's almost like expected to see them lose, no matter how they got there. Space Station, though, I think is a very solid team. I think NA is sending 3 very quality teams. Who knows? Maybe OG will surprise me. But Space Station Gaming, that's going to be a true test. That is going to be a fun one because I think all the question marks are on K Corp. Every single question mark there. But Space Station can very easily just come out and LJ just put on a performance and they could 3-0. You just never know. But another reminder, I will explain it here really, really quickly. Very important 1-0 rounds because if you finish 3-0, you have 2 lives in the quarterfinals basically until you get to the knockout of the top 4. If you finish 3-1, you have multiple chances if you're the 3-4 seed to make it to that upper bracket. There will be some tiebreakers played. 3 and 4 will play. Whoever wins is qualified in the upper bracket. Loser still has another chance. We'll play 5th place team to see if they qualify. So that 3rd, 4th place team can play lots of matches. They can play 6 Swiss stage matches. Then if they win that, like I'm counting these tiebreakers in that, then they go into the upper bracket quarterfinals. If they lose that, that's 7 matches. Then they got 8 matches here, 9. They could have 10 matches total on the tournament. While a 3-0 team could wind up playing 6. So that's a big, big difference. We'll see how that pans out. We'll see if momentum matters at that point. But it's going to be a really fun tournament. Obviously, World Championship. There's not as many question marks as there was because we just had EWC to see some of the performances. But there's still a lot of question marks around like G2. With Beast Mode coming back. OG, let's see what they can do. Oxygen, you know, that miracle team, they shouldn't even be here. Do they just play with house money and just run the table? It's very possible. They have shown that they can be very good in Swiss before, so like in Europe. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. And obviously K Corp, another big question mark there. I think G2 probably are the favorites going into this tournament. I think Falcons and BDS are right behind them, but we'll see how it all pans out. You just never know who's going to win the World Championship. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see. I'm very excited. I believe it's, 6 days of action? I think we do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 6 days of action. 3 crowd days, I believe. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you say hello to me. Make sure you chant Gibbs is beautiful in the crowd. Make sure that production knows that I'm still wanted. Otherwise, I'm going to lose my job. All right? That's it for me. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.